What's going on, everybody? Joe here, and today is a little bit of a different video. I was tagged by my bro Chad from A Gentleman's Journey, so I guess him and a few others want to hear a story, so let's get into it. So I was tagged, like I said, by my Can-Am partner, my bro Chad from A Gentleman's Journey, on this foundational fragrances video thing. And not gonna lie, don't really know what the concept is. It has something to do with like the foundational fragrances that made you or whatever. And so I don't necessarily have any of the fragrances that got me into fragrances. I instead do have most of the fragrances that got me here today. This is gonna be a long video, or longer than usual. So let's get into it. First up, I don't have this bottle anymore because it really wasn't that good of a fragrance. So I'm gonna do this right now. Gucci Guilty. I had just gotten my first professional job and I thought, how am I gonna crush the game? How am I gonna, set the trend in this new professional setting? And I thought Gucci Guilty was the end all be all. And I was so wrong. Even I knew, as a novice fragrance person, that wasn't going to bring the spark that I really wanted. So I went ahead and just typed in best colognes in Google and stumbled across this little wormhole, rabbit hole called YouTube reviews. And it was there that I first saw Al, Street Sense. And it was October of 2012. And from that moment on, I was hooked. He showed off tobacco, vanilla, private blends, and all these other things that I didn't think would ever be attainable in my life. And at crazy prices and all these other things. But it was after Al, I then started watching Mark, Robes 08, and slowly but surely, I started to see other reviewers and see this YouTube fragrance reviewing world that it is. And shortly thereafter, it was discussed with Lionel Woods that, hey, I should just start reviewing. Why not? At the time, there weren't as many reviewers, and so his words were, we need more reviewers. Why don't you just go ahead and start reviewing what you like or what you have and whatever, and just give your thoughts. Your average thoughts. He didn't say that, but you get my point. And all of this started because of Gucci Guilty. Thank you, Gucci Guilty, because I would not be here today reviewing for you all. Up next, we have Ash. So as I started to review, this was 2012, 2013, sorry. Ash came out like 2011, 2012. Hero really hyped it up. It made his spring list and people were talking about it because Alarm Sport was really good. And people were saying how Ash was good, but it wasn't as loved as it is now either. But me personally, this was love at first sniff, and this really would be my designer signature scent. This is me in a bottle. I've enjoyed this since day one, and this is my second bottle of it. And yeah, but just because I found my designer signature scent early did not mean that my journey was done. My journey was just beginning. Shortly after purchasing Ash, I went ahead and purchased this. And it's a tie because this and something else that I'm about to mention, I got them both pretty much on the same weekend, but I got this full bottle first. Bois d'Argent from Christian Dior was my first niche purchase, or if for those of you who consider the Dior Privé line non-niche, full designer because it's still from Christian Dior, this was my first purchase that was over $150. This bottle at the time only cost me $170. For those of you who may know now, this fragrance runs about 200 plus. So I got it really, really good priced. And I still really enjoy this one to this day. I don't wear it as much as I used to, but when I do wear it, it is a thing of beauty. Still a favorite in my collection. Christian Dior, Bois d'Argent, my first niche purchase. Now, when I mentioned that I had gotten Bois d'Argent and another fragrance, it was this, Japan Noir. This decant from the Fragrance Bros, Jer, more so specifically, just because I interacted with him in getting this. They had announced that they had gotten in contact with some sales associate, gotten their hands on it, and were selling off decants. And this was my purchase. And I had seen one of their reviews a little bit prior where they reviewed the samples, and just something about the way they described it, I had to get it. I was intrigued enough to get it. And so for that, it made me, even though I was still relatively new, relatively fresh into YouTube and reviewing and even fragrances, I was like, you know what? I may never be able to get my hands on this. Let me get this decant. But then when I got the decant, I knew I had to do everything in my power to get myself an actual bottle. And about a year later, I got the bottle. After over 100 box goes, it was bound to happen. Sorry about that. Anyways, Japan Noir. After having that sample, I knew I had to get the bottle. I searched and I searched and I searched staying up, partially because of my insomnia, partially because of me going ahead and watching videos and doing overtime for my sister and dance, and partially because I knew I had to have this bottle. I stayed looking, and this shows never give up. No discontinued fragrance is ever impossible to get. Search hard enough, Japan Noir will end up being yours if that's what you want, or whatever fragrance it is. For me, it was Japan Noir. And This and By Killian's Back to Black are my two signatures for the designer. But Japan Noir is my lost and found, hard to find fragrance. And last but not least, I bring you this. For some of you, you don't know what this is. For those who know me back, know that I'm the one who put this house on the map. House of Matriarchs, Gateways. This is what started it all for me in terms of indie niche. I was into indie niche fragrances, but this fragrance right here spawned me having 8, 9, 10 different fragrances. Who knows? I lost count, honestly. But this fragrance and me reviewing this one and me purchasing this one got me to interact with different perfumers and really see just how awesome this community is. Christy Michelle is an amazing person, and I got to know her through the years. She knew my sister was in dance, so she would like send me different playlists, just, hey, I know you're into music, I know you're in, different things for her dance, as far as music, and just quotes, and she's just awesome. House of Matriarchs, Gateways, because they're an awesome house, and it got me to interact with different perfumers. And those who don't know, I am very introverted outside of the YouTube camera world. So me really interacting with people is really hard, but Christy made it amazingly easy. And now I interact with almost anyone. So there are my thoughts, and I guess now I have to tag somebody or a few people. I am tagging Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, Daniel San, and Solano. And let me know in the comments down below, what are some of your foundational fragrances? Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about my selections, as far as if you've tried them, what you think. If you've tried any of the houses, what you think. Leave them in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. My name's Joe. I'll see you all later. Oh, and by the way, once again, shouts out to my bro Chad. Shouts out to the 6.